Wait a minute. Let me show my grandbaby. Let's see if she shows up. Oh, wait a minute. Wait again. That's my grandbaby.
Oh,
World.
she, she doing her first podcast.
Yes, it's the future. Let me call y'all back. All right. Bye. Yes. Had to get my grandbaby, my granddaughter. That's the first granddaughter, and I just have another one. She was born last week. So I have two granddaughters and one grandson. So
That's what's
I'm
up.
pop now.
That's
I'm an
what's
old head. So what's going on, man? What's going on?
Man, not too much. Trying to make it in the Carolinas.
So go ahead and let's try to get these numbers up. Try to get some people to come in. So I know you do your little thing. So
Yeah,
go ahead.
hold on one sec. One
So
sec.
today, y'all,
What's-
we will be talking about the Saturnalia festival, which goes on from December the 17th through the 24th, sometimes 25th. But this is a old pagan holiday that used to go on in the Roman times. Now, everybody has to understand when I say in the Roman times, most people keep thinking, oh, that was back then. But you have to understand the footprint that the Romans have done to the world. We go by their calendar, which is what's the name of the calendar, Jerome?
Gregorian.
So we go by the Gregorian calendar. So they changed the time. So really, is it 2021 or this is when they started it over? We have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and if you want to go by that, that is also a Roman, you know, what the Romans have changed. So basically, what we're talking about is a festival that they celebrated the Roman god Saturn, which funny they named him after a planet. Saturday is his official worship day.
Well, no, actually they named the planet after him.
That's what I said. I didn't say that. I thought that's what I said. They named a planet after him.
He said they named him after a planet.
Oh fuck it, hell, he ain't real. How about that?
That is true.
So, so it has a bunch of different things that goes on with it. Um, but the thing about it is a holiday that was way before the special holidays is coming up that we celebrate Christmas on. So this is a holiday that the Roman Church needed to cover up and try to clean up. So this is one of the holidays that was going on during what we call Christmas time frame. But if you want to be honest with you, the whole winter solstice is basically what what they try to cover. That's another thing they cover up too when it comes to Christmas is the winter solstice and the significance of what it is. Um, but we're gonna
Yeah,
get into
I
huh?
think I think the winter solstice we probably have to do that
No,
separately.
no, no, no. I was just throwing it out there. I'm not gonna
Oh,
go deep into that. Which if you want to understand the winter solstice, look it up. Um, this will give you the birth of what it is. But we're gonna talk about this pagan holiday. I know we kind of go different places, different things, but this is just to let you know that we have so much information that we like to share. Or Jerome, the teacher today, would
oh,
be sharing.
oh! Everybody bring an apple.
But go ahead, Jerome, do your thing, man. Yes, we like to do before we start our show.
No doubt. Well, again, even though you're already here, we'd like to welcome everybody that's watching on all the platforms that you're on, whether it be Facebook, whether it be YouTube. Um, Welcome again. Thanks for coming out and joining us to sit for a while and conversate. As always, this is strictly our opinions from facts that we have gathered throughout the years. Please don't believe anything that we tell you. Go research it for yourself. Once you found it, take that information, study it, research it, come back. Let's talk. Let's build. Let's go forward. Um,
Let's
B, you
build.
ready to
Let's
get into this?
build. Yes, let's get
All right,
into it, man.
say
This
no
this
more.
is this is. I mean, it's interesting if you study Christmas
Right,
and don't. When I mean study Christmas and not study the religious Bible version of what Christmas is.
right.
If you was to study Christmas, this will pop up. I don't
Oh
care
yeah,
if but you got to understand the mindset me and Jerome both have. We grew up in church and the real meaning of what's what.
yeah.
Okay, what's going on my screen?
I don't
What
know. You
is my
freezing up.
internet trying to go bad already?
You freezing
I
up
think
already.
something going. Hey, you know what happened when it freezes up? You know what's going on if it freezes up?
Right, right.
The mud trying to tell us something. So we're just going
Hey,
to give you a
go
background of the holiday
go tell your neighbor that you're
before
using his
Christmas.
internet.
Say what?
Go tell your neighbor you're using his internet. So
Man, stop it,
he might
man.
be streaming a game right now.
You. So we just want to give you a little clarification of Roman Catholicism, and
All
that's
right,
what basically this what it is. And again, let's get it in. So this holiday starts on the 27th. I can't really give you a date when it really started, but I just know it started.
all right.
And Jerome, baby in the background.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear it.
Oh
So
yeah,
so
okay.
we're gonna talk about. And again, this is a Roman. It has some good sides to it. It has a lot of dark sides to it, which is really crazy when it comes to the dark side of this. Um, it was a holiday that it was a festival, a harvest, you know, sacrificing. Since Saturn's supposed to be the Roman god of harvest. Now, it's a lot of stuff that they steal from us, but I can't really show how this is significant with our culture, today's
Yeah,
culture. But when I make culture, indigenous people culture, how about that? Can't really put a finger on it because they erased our history so much that we don't know nothing really of
right,
what was celebrated during what time frame. Am I right?
right. I think this is more of how you've been misled more so than what they've stolen. Um, if you look at Saturnalia for what it is, you know, you- it starts way before Catholicism. Um, it actually started as a Greek celebration when the ancient Greeks and Saturn was Kronos, in the Greek mythology. Um, he's actually Saturn are actually dark figures. They always portray them as enlightened ones or rebirth, but it's really they really have a dark, dark history. Now, when you talk about the celebration, it actually was a celebration after harvest. So after the last harvest, they would celebrate. And so the Romans in the city moved the date to the 17th. It was December 17th. this is when they started officially celebrating instead of after harvest. They started it on December 17th, and people would come from everywhere, get drunk, party, da da da, and then as it grew, as the celebration grew, it lasted 7 days, and it lasted from the 17th to the 24th, and then after the 24th, on the 25th day or day 25, they would give presents. So this is when the practice of giving presents on the 25th actually started. And this is early centuries. We talking about first century, second century, third century when this is going on. Um, the problem was with Saturnalia is the from that time period. There was no law. You could do what you want. You could drink. You could have sex with anybody that you want. Um, if you had slaves, slaves will become masters. Masters will become slaves for this 7 day period. Um, and in true Roman style, they even children were involved in getting drunk and the orgies that they were having. Um, so it got kind of out of hand, if you will, and through the centuries, um, this practice, the church tried to bring Christmas into the religion because more people were participating and they wanted people into the church. And so this is when they created Christmas time is what kind of what it is today. But people were still partying, still drinking, still having sex. And so there were years that they had banned Christmas. They had banned Christmas. Christmas was banned for like 400 years. It didn't start in the Americas until the late 1800s, um, where became official again. But we'll get into all that a little later. But with Saturnalia, um, man, like I said, y'all, I don't know how deep you wanna just drop it in. But like the pieces of what Christmas is all about, like the tree, the decorations of the tree, the Yule
No, no, no.
log.
Let's get in it. Let's get in it. Just throw it all in the. Just throw all this in the basket. It's
All right,
teacher
I say no more. Um, like I said, all of this is around um, fertility, being fertile, being able
time.
to produce. The Yule log. The Yule log comes from a Norse god, Yule, and he was the god of fertility, and they would get a big log as large as they could, and they would fashion it into a nice word, into a phallus,
Mm-hmm.
and and then they would light it on fire, and there was a 12-day event of this Yule log burning. But during this 12 days, this is when they would sacrifice animals, uh, people, uh, whatever, during this 12-day period. Um, and this is one of the traditions that passed through with Saturnalia, or that led to Christmas. Um, the tree itself was a representation of a male phallus and the adornment of it. Um, it's funny because if you look in the Bible, uh, there's verses, Jeremiah 10, verse 2 through 5, strictly tells you not to cut down the tree, bring it into your house, and to adorn it.
Mm-hmm.
That's straight out of the Bible. So, I mean, it's because they knew it was a pagan ritual and it was a pagan act. Christmas has always been pagan and it'll always stay pagan because it has nothing to do with Christianity.
Oh.
But it's funny. well, we ain't gonna get into it, but Christianity doesn't have anything to do with Christianity anymore.
I don't
It's
think it ever did in the beginning, but I mean,
it's all Saturn worship. If you look at it from the beginning, that's what it all is. If you look at the symbology that the Catholic Church uses, and the Catholic Church passes to other churches, uh, what you would call um, uh, churches that are not Catholicism, but Episcopal, or these different churches that came out of the movement from Martin Luther,
or the Pentecostal movement.
right? So I mean, but it's still the same symbology that they use. Um, I mean, we can go into wherever you want to go.
I'm following you today. I'm following
Cause
you.
like,
I'm following
okay,
you
I tell you,
today.
okay, let's look at the Phoenicians. The Phoenicians believed in that Nimrod was a god. So
And the
Nimrod,
Phoenicians, so Phoenicians was basically Romans before Romans.
uh, they were more Babylonians before Babylon.
Okay. I
Yeah,
just want to make sure because, sometimes people can really get this confused in a certain
yeah,
state.
yeah,
That,
yeah, yeah. I got you. But Phoenicians is these were people of the sea, especially around the Mediterranean, what you would call indigenous or dark people. And this is where the language that we use to this day, the basis for it comes from. It's from the Phoenicians. Uh, they the one gave the letter system, or the letter structure system, to the Greeks. But they had a belief in Nimrod. And Nimrod, if you don't know the story, become a great king, and he married his mother. So he had died, and his mother somehow brought Nimrod back to life and had a child. And this child was Mithra, and Mithra became the sun god. And this is uh, sun god, son of God, however you want to put it. But his birth date was on the 25th of December. And so, you talking to me? I can't hear you. You on mute. But 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 yeah, Mithra is the sun god, and this is where you can look at it in any stance. You can look at it from a religious stance, a theological stance, or you can look at it from a astrological stance, being that the 25th day is the longest day, or the not the longest day, but the highest point that the sun gets inside of the year, and then slowly over 3 days it dies, and then it comes back again.
you can't
If
say
you know
that,
what that
man. You're gonna
story
get
is.
it. You're gonna get us banned, man. You can't just
Oh
be
my
saying that.
bad. I'm just trying to
But
put the
you know
facts
what?
out.
I mean, my bad. I mean, you're gonna get us banned, so we can't go to church no more.
Oh. Well, I mean, all you have to do is research, and you'll see it for yourself. Everybody, if you read and study and you are in the church, you should know that Jesus wasn't born according to the book on the 25th of December. Because it's way too cold for shepherds to be out at night with their sheep. So,
And, that's kind of funny because if you was to go by really, if you was going by the moon itself, I mean not the moon. Actually, is it the moon itself? Yeah,
over there,
you was
besides that,
actually born, say, around August, September. But so we worship a savior that we don't know even the month that he was born in. But you got
right?
to understand he was born in Africa. I don't care what you say. He was born in Africa.
You don't care
And
what I say?
but
Okay, okay, okay. No, I'm
but
listening.
we he was born in Africa, but we get our information about him from the Europeans. Kind of strange, ain't it? You know what I'm saying?
No, I got you. You trying to follow the story, right?
Yeah, if you follow the story, it's like if you was if I mean that's what a lot of people I mean I'm not bashing anybody that follows you know Christianity or Islam or if you're whatever you are, understand the region of where you at with the information that you're studying. It has nothing to do with Italy. It has nothing to do with England. But who runs the church or runs the religion that you actually worship? But everything that's in the Bible is in Africa. It's nowhere else. You want to say the Middle East? Part of the Middle East is in Asia. Part of the Middle East, a majority of the Middle East. Which when was the Middle East become the Middle East, Jarl?
1930s. It's always been North Africa. But see, here's the thing: when you talk about since you brought religion, I didn't. Uh, these religions are eclectic religions.
True.
What I mean by that is they take from different places and make one thing, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you have a European religion that has North African, Mid Central African, uh, and when I say North African, I'm actually including Libya. I'm actually including present day, what you would call the Middle East, because Samaritans that were there, or uh, these were what you call black people. And so they populated this area. So you're getting stories about black people from different parts of the area, and they
True.
all been put together
Mm-hmm.
to give that. I think to me, that's why the indigenous people of America follow the religion so heavy, and they it's hard for them to understand truth. It's because it's based in their story. It's based in their life. It's based in their background.
Mm-hmm.
It's been manipulated. And
Fact.
because we fail to research, because we fail to uh, want to buck against the system, if you will, you're going to stay um, locked into this pattern of lies. And you'll never find your true self.
It's kind of like you're trapped in a matrix and you don't even know that you're trapped in it.
You don't know. I mean, tell me this: how can you be enslaved by an oppressor, a colonizer? He give you a religion. He help you read the religion, help you pray through the religion, but you never get any change.
Mm.
So who was God listening to?
Mm.
Was he listening to your oppressor,
Mm.
or did he ever listen to you?
Boy, it's getting hot in here, man. What the hell?
Hey, I'm just asking questions.
No, no,
I,
no, no. I got it. I like it. Eric throwing some questions out here. Eric throwing some questions. Christ was never born; he was created. That's what a lot of people are saying because you can't find any artifacts or anything about him. And you got to understand this. If you was to say if he was real or fake, understand who he was and what he represented. It. He never wanted to be the following, and then you still understand if he was a Jew, he did everything as a Jew. Hebrew. Let me step back. As a Hebrew, but then when we turn around and you created Christianity, it has nothing to do with Hebrew. So, how you can be Christ-like, or are you following this deity if he's not? If he everything that he represents as he lived. something that we don't do.
I got you. And
You see? Did I say
oh,
it
I
kind of
got
crazy?
you. But I'm saying all of it's allegorical, right?
True. That is
And
true.
so the message you should be following, you know, the message you should be living by. But to take everything literal, that's I think that's where people get lost at. Is
Hmm.
you taking fictional characters and you want them to be real, and you want them to be literal, and I think that's why you can read this book for so many years and still not portray it, because it's all fictional to you. So you do it for show, but you don't do it because you really want to live a certain way, or you really want to portray a certain thing. I think it's all show, you know,
True.
which is
True.
cool.
True.
If that's what you want to do, that's all cool. But to me, if I was a basketball player, I want to know why the court is 94 feet long. I want to know why it's 15 feet from the goal to the free throw line. I want to know why it's 23 feet from the goal to the 3-point arc. I want to know why there's three referees. I want to know what traveling is. You
Wow.
know, I want to know what a bounce pass is for. I want to know why I get two steps instead of three. So if I'm gonna call myself a basketball player, I should know everything about the game, right?
Facts. Facts. Facts.
Because now, as I get older, I don't want to coach somebody how to play the game. So how could I coach somebody to play the game when I don't know the rules? I don't know the
Ooh.
inception. I don't even know why they keep score.
Ooh. I
So
got you.
why? So how could I coach somebody to be if they would go on and coach somebody to be a player? You see what I'm saying? It
I
would
got
help.
you.
It
I
would
got
help
you.
you to know why and what everything is that you say you follow.
See, this is the thing about this, which we do our research, and if you follow us on Facebook, not follow us on Facebook. Actually, no. I say follow. If you have to really, because we've been doing our podcast since 2017.
Right.
Um, I think we didn't really go live like this face to face until last year. Was it 2020? 2020.
Yeah.
I think 2020. Yeah, 29, 2019, 2020.
Trina.
So it's a lot of stuff that we have put out there, especially information wise. I mean,
Right.
some of our old podcasts, which I'm gonna have to repost, is super, super deep.
Right.
But again, we're not bashing. We're just trying to enlighten people to understand why some of the stuff is covering up some of the stuff. Like, is history really, really true history, or it just happened to be events that's covering up other events?
Well, history.
Because
History is always told by the ones that are in charge. And it's
so
always to dictate a narrative to keep people in the dark. You can't lead masses of people if everybody has the same information, because most people won't follow.
so this is a what they say pagan holiday
True.
that when Constantine took over in 1735 ish, or was it 63? In that time
When
frame,
when you
he
say
tried,
that,
huh? Constantine.
no, that was more like 320 AD, Constantine, because the Council of Nicaea was 325 AD.
See, I got my dates wrong. You know what? That's why I love you, dude. Anyway, I stand corrected. But now you have him trying to use a form of religion to bring the whole country together. Now, if everybody studied Constantine, Constantine was not a Christian. He did even he just did it just to try to get people to be in tune, try to bring a country together. Not like our country right now that's so divided that, you know, people have problem with us talking about what we're talking about right now. That's how
Right.
divided you can say our country is, or our people are, because we're super, super religious and not spiritual like we supposed to be. So
Yeah,
that's why some of these stuff that we have to talk about, because you have to understand this was a holiday, this was a festival
that's
that was covered up, because once Constantine did what he did, one thing that he did, I think it was after him, I can't remember the person's name, who was the ruler, actually put the church in charge. When I mean he put the Catholic Church in charge, the Catholic Church ran the government. And when you get it, that's why the Catholic Church have as much power as they do. Or they was like, okay, they got a taste of power and they just ran things. So what happens when you give somebody that much power? They gonna change everything that they see fit, or it's a lot of stuff that they cover up that they was doing, a lot of the rituals they was doing. But at the same time, this was a something that they frown upon, because you're not walking around with your religious thing. This is a festival that the slaves and their masters were equal. Sometimes they even role reversal.
yeah,
So some of the masters for this week would let the slaves be the masters.
to a limit. Uh,
Yes, then I was gonna say to a limit. Like, you ain't gonna go crazy with it, but
uh,
to a friendly limit. Is that better? Is that better?
yeah, that's better.
So it's a lot of gambling. So the slaves and the master was considered equal. Even the religious people, not even the religious people, even the emperor and everybody will come. They actually come down from their hierarchies and become, everybody's on the same page. In other words, it's like going to Mardi Gras, but the whole country doing it. It ain't like going to New Orleans. The whole country is doing this. So the whole country is partying. Everybody's eating, everybody's drinking. And you know what happened when a lot of people get to drinking? That's the bad part about it. When people get drunk, they get wild. And this is why this festival they had to end it, because it's a lot of bad things that's happening. But understand the culture of the Roman culture. The
Yeah,
alphabet crew is part of where, can you say, evolved from this culture. I don't want them to start attacking us. You know, the alphabet crew.
I'm gonna
You know,
let you say that.
the
Um,
you
I'll let you say that one. But there was a lot of debauchery that came from it. And what I mean by that is like um, not just open sexual acts which were happening in the streets, but like I said, children were involved. I mean, were made to be involved.
explain that. Explain, or if you can, a little bit, get deep into it.
All right. This is what we call today pedophilia. Um,
Ooh, okay, I
no,
got it. I got it. I
right.
got it.
So I mean, and this was 7 days of this, you know. So I mean, you can imagine how many lives were ruined by this
Mhm.
festival. But like I said, it just was a reflection of how the elites lived. You know, they lived like that every day. It would just so happen that they got to mingle with the lower class people for a week, you know, during the year. So, I mean, it was some crazy times.
Yeah, let me put up with Eric. Mr. Eric Starr is just he's still in the show today. You gonna make me go research that just because you put that information out there.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. They had these meetings. Like like what I was talking about, the Council of Nicaea, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
these council meetings had started in the 300s AD. The last one, I think, was in 1960, 1968, 1969. So there have been several meetings where they have shaped the religion and they have shaped what you believe. Um, 'Cause like I said, at the beginning of we call it Christianity, but at the beginning of it, there was no Christ figure.
True that. True that.
Because you could look at any text, this first century, third century, fifth century, sixth century, you won't see any text that mention a Christ figure. So it wasn't until later that they introduced the God or the deity man.
Mm. Which
It's
was at Council Nicaea, and I think
but
we have some. Go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. You know what's funny about that, B?
What? Talk to me.
Is that even that story was taken from somewhere. I mean, just go look at the story of Horus, the Egyptian god, and you'll see that. And this is like 3,000 to 4,000 years prior to the inception of Christianity. And just look at. I'm not going to tell you. You just look it up. The story
I
of
know
Horus.
because I mean we see it today that when the Pope worships, he worships the Black Madonna. So research that. Hey, do you? We got a new person that I never seen. Key or whoa, what? All right, let me get my screen right. I guess I say peace, God. What's going on? This
Oh yeah, that's peoples. I know them. That's
okay,
people.
okay. That's your people. All right, that's what peace, peace, peace. So this holiday is because of the he already said it. Something that they hide that we see that's starting to come back up again is the children.
Right.
The children. And this is it's kind of like you not celebrating it, but you celebrating it and not understanding why you celebrating. Because you have it's still you giving power to a deity that you don't know who you're giving it to. Again,
True. That's true.
so when you put so much energy, which we are energy beings, and you pushing this energy saying, I have to focus on Christmas, but you don't even know who you're worshiping.
Right.
So we have these Roman gods, we have these Greek gods, we have Egyptian gods, and you have so many gods, and then you saying you have this one God that's all over all these other gods. You need to go back and start looking at the Samaritan text because you really might find out some more some. You'll find out that a lot of stuff that's in the Bible has already been used before to a certain
Yeah.
extent.
No, 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 no. You are correct. It's the more
Okay.
so to the point that it's been used before. It's actually taken from those books. It's
Okay.
from Samaritan texts. It's from different texts from around the area, and they were put together to make. That's why these books are separate.
Hmm.
This is it's not. It's a canon of different books from different places, right? And so that's why um, you can't say it's one God because it's different books from different places, right? So they had to be talking about different gods. It's funny that you use the word Jew. The old Jews, they had many gods. Don't be that they were not monotheistic. That would be false. How could I even prove that inside of the Bible when
They
God
talk about three
says
different. They talking
when
about three
God
different gods in Genesis alone.
well, yeah, well, but God Himself said, He says, "Put no other God before me." So if we got to tell your people to put no other God before me, then that means there's other gods. As you specifically said, don't put them in front of me.
It's kind of like if you have multiple kids, but you had other marriages, and then you marry somebody, and they kids become your kids, and you was like, well, I'm the dad because I'm the one that's taking care of you. Don't pay attention to nobody
Right,
else, but pay attention to me. And that's
right,
basically kind of it is.
right.
So when we look at some of these things, we're just showing you what Christmas, the whole Christmas theme is covering up. It's covering up a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? What they call today, or what old school people would call today. You know, trying to get the right word,
Yeah.
because like you said, it's a lot of sexual acts.
Oh yeah.
Um, but again, what we see now in today's society is what they did back then, and they trying to justify, hey, they did it then, why we can't do it now. In other words, it never erased itself. It kind of got hidden.
Yeah, I mean, you can't do it now because we have morals, because we have laws, because there's ethics that we use. Um, it's funny that we, this always confuses me too. Is And that's true.
That's
Um,
true.
it, it always it always confused me that Christians taught their kids about Santa Claus. I mean, because if you have God and God says, "Put no other God before me,"
Hmm.
right? But then you teach your children that this guy that lives in the North Pole sees everybody in the world, over 7 billion people. He sees everybody in the world, knows if they're doing good, knows if they're doing bad, he even knows your intent. He's going to travel around the world in one night, giving gifts to everybody in the world. So he's omniscient. At some points, he got to be omnipresent because there's no way he could be in all these places at one time.
I got a chipney. He better fucking
And
drop something in that one.
and and he gives out punishment
Oh, if you're naughty or nice.
if you're naughty or nice. So you're talking about this. You teaching your kids that that's a deity, that's a God, and you're teaching your kids this is who outside, and you go to work every day and you paying for those presents, but you teach them that it's a false God that brings them these presents. Then
And it's
you go,
kind of funny. It's kind of funny because you trying to teach them this is the birth of Jesus, but at the same time we have Santa Claus.
right.
But we this so you throwing two different gods at them right then and there, but you're
That's what
not
I'm
paying
saying.
attention to.
That's the whole point. That's what I'm talking about. That's why, religion, and I specifically say religion here in the United States is bipolar, it's schizophrenic, it's it's a lot of different things. And the crazy thing, people will defy, what are you defending?
Because it's in the Bible.
Where?
Ooh,
Like I said, I showed you Jeremiah 10, 2 and 5
damn, he got me
specifically
on that
tells you from the Bible you shouldn't have a Christmas tree.
because you're making a deity. You know what? It's kind of funny though because
And
you
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 get
you
mad.
made a no, you made a good point because it never tells you when Jesus was born. Never, it just tells you the region, and if you study the region, you find out anything. But they never said worship his birthday as a particular day.
Yeah, I mean,
Writing is, I mean, I'm saying is the writing is of, say for instance, if he's real or not real. If he's real and some of the stuff that he did and what he represented, we don't do today. We have the church, which again, the Roman times, run Rome. What is what is running today's United States? All these super mega churches, all these angelical churches who
What is that?
I had to have to angelical. Because if I had long hair, I
Yeah,
would
yeah, yeah.
have my hair. Angelical, that who's pushing government to do this, pushing government to do that. I mean, think about it. You had a church representing the fucking orange dude. Every European faced church pushed for this dude to be.
Well, not just them now.
I tell you what, yeah. I forgot about that picture.
Not just them.
I take that back. A lot of churches was representing him, but then at the same time, it's funny when your acts, your moral acts, doesn't line up with the church, but the church love you anyway. Confusing, confusing to me. I'm sorry, that shit
I
confusing.
mean, actually, it's not confusing to me.
I mean, if you was to look at it being a person that
Oh yeah,
who,
if you looked at it logically,
yeah, 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 that's
it's
what I.
like
Yeah.
that logically that makes no sense. But having the information of knowing uh, how pedophilia and the Catholic Church is synonymous with each other, so that is supposed to have been the lead religion, and we already know what they're about. So tell me how a religious institute can have a fund with billions of dollars set up already for those people that have been molested or, you know, touched wrong by the church. You got a fund that's already set in place to pay for the incidents that are going to happen, not just the ones that have happened.
Because they know it's going to happen, and no punishment is done to that person
Person, exactly.
because they are covered under the church. So it's
I'm
okay for
saying,
you to
how's
do
that
it.
right?
Yeah, I'm just like it's
I
okay
mean,
for you.
legally, not just morally. How's that legally right? How can you be abstained from crime?
As
Where,
a
where,
religious feeling.
where are we doing this at?
But we make excuses for them, though. Don't forget that we make excuses.
I don't.
I mean, we don't. But
I know.
I'm just saying. It just. That's why most people need to sit back and just think about it. We've been brainwashed so much that is, are you able to be who you are if you have a cap? And the reason why I say you have a cap because if you have a religion, you have a cap. You will never reach the true ceiling where you need to be. Um, you can learn morals from this, which is different. It's good morals and it's good stories that you can learn that you can use within self. But at the same time, is you kind of have to scratch your head and it's like some of this stuff is a bunch of BS. A
Right.
lot of this, but then when they say, I mean, I don't want everybody to think that I'm really bashing. I just want people to understand if they saying all these writers, especially when we got to oh, see, he gonna look at Eric, man. Eric is keep throwing them jewels, man. So, oh, actually, another thing in the Council of Nicaea. Wait a minute, we did do one on Council of Nicaea. I don't think we need to do another one.
Yeah, we
That
did.
we have the Trinity comes from the Council of Nicaea too. But everybody will say these people were led by God. But then at the same time, I ask you this question: which God? When you Jerome just said, "Don't worship no other gods before me." Who God? Which God is that God?
Right.
You know. Like
That,
for instance, Jerome worships the Dallas Cowboys. I worship the Philadelphia Eagles. They
um,
both play for the NFL,
right.
but they two different gods because we worship them differently. See,
I
you can make
got I,
anything of that. You
I
make
got
anything.
where you going. I got where you going with it. But see, here's the thing.
I
Like
got you.
like everything comes down to um, etymology, right? So
Facts.
when you talk about even when you talk about God,
Hmm.
God is a dramatic word that comes from God. These were tribal people, extremely um, tribal, not as organized as you would think, but this was the words that they use, how they describe what they think or thought a being that was greater than them was, and that word, translated up to what you use now, um, wasn't the oldest of words,
Hmm.
but that's the word that people use. Um, to me, I mean, I don't know what God is, but I can tell you what He's not. You know what
Uh oh.
I'm saying?
Uh
so,
oh.
so there's a lot, man. There's a lot to what we follow. We
Hmm.
follow things too blind. You know, I don't think Adam or Eve was wrong for wanting to know what was in the middle of the garden, because it wasn't their curiosity, it wasn't their attempt at wisdom that got them in trouble. It was their disobedience because they wouldn't follow rules. And, that's kind of what we are. We the people. We want to bite the apple. We don't want to follow the rules. You
Mm. Mm. Let me put up what Eric didn't put up. Eric is, I'm telling you, this dude is dropping some Jews. Appreciate
oh
you
yeah.
putting this energy
But you,
for us today, Eric.
and that's funny. Like the information that he's given. If you study theology, they'll teach you the same thing. It's just up to you
How you want to present it.
how you want to teach it. But they'll teach you the exact same things in theology school. It's not that they hide the truth. It's just that most people ain't willing to want to hear it. You've listened to it all your life the same way, and that's the only way you want to hear it. That's indoctrination. Most
Oh,
people are indoctrinated, so it's it's hard when um, psych from a psychological sense that people are not going to change even when presented with new information because it's not part of the core of their learning. If it wasn't a part of their core learning, it's almost impossible to change the way somebody thinks.
especially if they was, this is what they was raised in from birth. This is
That's what I'm
something that
saying. That's
was
core.
so.
That's in their core.
But this is the thing, which I'm guilty. I can say I'm guilty. Do I celebrate during this holidays? Yes, I do buy gifts for my children. But if you go back and study this Saturnalia, they gave gifts. That is one of the things that they did do is give gifts to one
So,
another,
so
to your
you're
children.
pagan.
So I'm giving my grandbabies gifts. I'm
So
sorry.
you're a pagan. You're a pagan.
But see, this is the thing about being a pagan. What is pagan? You know what? Fuck it. Let's do. You know what? I'm glad you said that. I'm about to say, what is a pagan? Because I asked that question.
Oh, I can tell you what it is.
No, I want to pull up the definition. I
Oh,
want
pull it
Google
up.
to tell me what it is.
Google. Google search.
This let me share this page and let's see what they say. Let's see what they say.
What does Google say?
Boom. This is what a pagan is: a person holding a religious belief other than those of the main worldly religions. I don't follow that. I don't believe in that. It's either a heathen, ungodly, and regular infidel. I was just, oh my God,
Infidel. You're an infidel.
I'm an infidel. And
But you know what? But I mean, think about it now. Just think about it. If you're
Mhm.
practicing something, then that is a religion. But if it's
but
not of the
so I can't really say I'm
mainstream,
a
if it,
pagan though.
this is what I'm
Would I
saying.
be considered?
If it's not mainstream, it makes you a pagan. So that means,
So, but see, this is the thing. I feel like if I need to really get into my 1812 1821 dictionary and see what
yeah.
that word mean back then.
I mean, it's the same. I'm telling you, it's anything that's not mainstream. I give you a for example.
No, I
Uh,
mean that's what it says. I mean, but
yeah.
again,
Check, listen to this. Listen to this. Check
go
this
ahead.
out. So if
Hmm.
somebody is worshiping Satan, right?
Hmm.
Are they
Yeah.
a pagan?
No, because they yes, because they not well. Hell, that's starting to become a big religion. So
I got that, but I'm saying it's not one of the big three, right?
no, it's not the big three.
So okay, so it's a pagan religion, right?
Okay, yes,
So inside of Christianity, is that not a devil?
true.
Is that not the same devil that people are worshiping?
That is actually true again.
And so how are they not the same thing? You just worshiping one when you could have been worshiping the other.
So since you put it out there, would you say people that studies Hinduism or study Hindu, or even people that follow Buddhist, the Buddhists, are they considered pagan because they're
They,
not part of the main religions?
I mean, they would be by Christians
So
because they're not
everything is
Christian. You
so
got to
this.
look at anybody that's not a Christian is a non-believer. Even if you believe in something, you're a non-believer because you're not Christian.
So this
Get
goes
me?
back to understanding the power of the Roman Catholic Church,
Exactly.
which covered up this holiday as a representative of themselves to cover up some of the dark side. Actually,
They incorporated that celebration, brought it back to they actually changed it because like I told you, Saturnalia started the 17th through the 14th. And on the
mhm,
25th, celebration was over, but they gave gifts, right?
okay,
When the Catholic Church took it over
hmm,
and they called it Christ Massed. They did a
ooh,
Christ Massed. It
hmm,
started on the 25th and it
okay,
actually went until January the 7th.
okay,
They took their time and they went from the 25th to the 7th of January to celebrate. And it was Christ Mass. But the problem was they got more people to come to church, but people still celebrated it the same way they were celebrating Saturnalia. And so that's why the church had to shut down Christmas or Christ Mass because people wasn't changing their behavior. They wasn't. It wasn't as lewd, but it was still crazy celebration. So that's why the church had shut down Christmas. Like I said, it wasn't until the late 1800s in the Americas when Christmas was reestablished. Um, Charles Dickens had wrote a book about Christmas, and that's what got everybody stirred back up. And then they had Washington Irving, and that was the early 1800s. He had wrote a story, um, and it was about Christmas, and so that's how Christmas got stirred back up in the Americas. But But yeah, I mean, it has a long history of but it's always been tied to um, how fertile the earth is, and the death of winter and the beginning of life in spring. It's always around those two cycles, the winter solstice and the spring solstice. You still on, B?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh,
I'm here.
okay,
I'm here.
okay. I
I
was
ain't.
just making sure.
I can't leave you, man. I'm always riding with you, man. I'm always riding with you.
No more. But
So,
go ahead.
so I guess I set you up and said we're going to talk about the winter solstice, but again, this is how we do. This is what we do. We keep digging in deeper and deeper into what we do. So we like to break down, break down, break down. Because somebody called me a pagan today.
Did it?
Yeah, I was like, damn,
You
that
are.
word sounds like a bad word. What is a pagan?
You are a pagan.
I am. I'm not a damn pagan.
You did. You buy your kids gifts, don't
I buy my shit.
you? You
But it
celebrate.
ain't like it's just like they already know what I'm getting. I don't even give it to them on Christmas Day. It's like I already bought it and gave it to them already.
You don't have to justify it for me,
Shut
baby.
up! I don't like you no more.
You don't dress like Santa Claus for your grandkid.
Hell no. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't even participate in the Christmas lights, the Christmas tree, but my wife do, so I have to let her have her way. But that's not something I participate in because it's just
Hey,
not me.
I tell her
Man,
to
you
look
give me
up tell her to
nope.
look up Jeremiah 10:2 and 5 for me.
All right, hold up. Jeremiah 10.
2 verse 2 through 5.
All right, dude. I'm trying to sleep in peace tonight, and I see now
I
what you're trying to do. You I ain't the type of dude that sleep on my couch.
feel you. I feel you.
I
Tell
have
us
another
me now.
bedroom. I have
Tell us
another bedroom that's comfortable that I can go down and sleep in peace.
tell her you
But
didn't have nothing to do with it.
yeah. All right, wait a minute, oh, wait a minute. What's up, Jeremy? Jeremy, man, you need to jump on this show and stop playing, man. Got it. So what we try to do again, we break it down, break it down, break it down. But the winter solstice is coming up, which is another show. I know we do this every year. Um, it's like you said, the old, which is bringing in the new. But I guess it's the birth of the new sun. But at the same time, that's a whole different show. So we can end this on a good note. Understand the holidays because Easter is another holiday that's covering up another holiday that the Catholic Church put out. We go deep in on Easter, Estar. But again, please understand that we're not trying to put anybody down. Whatever you do is what you do. I do not look at anybody different. Again, my wife is Christian. I do not look at, I still love my wife and I still treat my wife as my wife. I don't look at her differently because of what she does or what she, you know.
Believes.
Oh, wait a minute. He said, what Bible verse was that, Jerome? Was it Jeremiah 10, 2, verse 2 through 5? Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right. Now you're gonna make me go sure that, and then she's gonna be like, but that was then. That's not now.
Of course.
But
All of
but
it was then, right?
but
All of
again,
it was then.
But again, I do respect one another. I respect people for who they are,
Of
and I have to
course.
accept you. I have to accept you for who you are. Um, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, "Oh my God, you should be doing." Mm-mm-mm-mm. We just putting out information. We're just putting out information.
Yeah. Like I said, I always say, don't believe anything that I tell you. Research it for yourself.
But I ain't no damn heathen, though. I can say that. I ain't no
So
heathen.
you're not.
Heretic.
Okay.
So again, I guess we can end this off. I guess we got an hour in. Yep, we got an hour in. I didn't think we was gonna go this deep in it. I actually thought this was gonna be kind of like, but again, this is the three-headed monster. Um, check us out on Facebook. Actually, check us out on YouTube. Our YouTube page is the 300 Monster Podcast. And if you want to know, this is our website, the 3hmonster.com. So we building, you know, we building, we want more people to join us. We want people to come on. Give us the questions. Give us some stuff that you want us to do research on. Because I know what we do, I think we started off wanting to go, religious head hunting, but then I think we end up getting more into the indigenous truth about our heritage and who we are, especially the dark side of the so-called American, not saying American history. Yeah, you can say American history, but what U.S. United States history, the stuff that they don't teach you, the untold part of it. So we're gonna get back on that probably first of the year because we got more stuff for y'all. And I tell you now, you're not ready for this. Buckle your seatbelts, man. Wait a minute. These dudes still putting stuff out no matter what. Let me see what it is. What do you say? No matter what facts or feelings, the Bible tells you not to sun worship, but the Bible is some of it wrong. Okay. Let's see what Eric says.
Tell my why it's on the 25th. But
Because we're not celebrating the African aspect of it. We are celebrating a European aspect of what we're doing. Can I say that?
you can say it. You can say whatever you want. But
Go ahead.
uh
You want to indulge in that? You got that?
no, we ain't got enough time for me to get into what's to the African aspect of it
No,
because
I'm talking about on the question that he said on the
oh no,
26th.
what was the question?
Oh, my bad, my bad. Let me show it again.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's all that's a statement.
Oh.
And yeah, that's a statement.
Yeah, so that calendar that we actually go
Well,
through every day
right.
is how accurate can we say that calendar is now? Because look at the time, the look at the weather patterns. Everything is
No,
not.
I mean, no, dude, ooh, man, we ain't
I
got
know.
enough time.
I know we ain't got time.
We
We've been on
really
here
ain't
another hour.
because, and the reason why I say that is because this is the year, according to the calendar, 2021, going into 2022, correct?
That is correct.
All right. Well, human history is maybe 1,000,000 years old.
No, it ain't. It's 5,000 years old.
Ah, yeah, right. So you thought about 2,000 out of 1,000,000 years. Let's say a half a million years. 2,000 years out of a half a million years. How much history you think you missed?
Oh, it's a lot.
Of course. And like I said, history is always told from the perspective of those who are in charge. Now, if you haven't been in charge that long, you can only tell history from a certain point.
True.
You can't you can't stretch history and say, "Oh, this is look at our greatness 500,000 years ago when you was not here."
Mm. Which
So
says a lot. That says a lot.
because there's a reason why they say prehistoric
Mhm.
history.
Ooh,
How can something be prehistory history? So that's telling you there's a lot of history prior to what you know that is history.
facts.
Yeah. But we'll get into that another day.
That is true. Well, again, this is the Three-Headed Monster podcast, and I love being on with you. Like I said, teacher,
Oh
teach
man,
me
stop.
today was them days that I'm like, Eric, man, you gonna keep throwing these questions out here, man. These statements. What is man? Let me try to sign off while this dude's still putting it out there. But again, like, share, tell anybody to, like I said, we like people to get on and just discuss stuff with it. We're gonna show you questions if it's valid. Uh-oh. Mr. Wathrow done jumped on. What are you gonna put out there?
Is the world flat?
Man, we oh, oh, that's a good man. You know what? No, that's another hour discussion. Actually, you might need to be on for that one because
Yeah, we'll bring
we
him
already
on.
had that discussion, and boy, that one went cool. You know what? We might need to bring my man on to, just even touch on that.
Oh, I got a cat too. That not just Clayton, but I got
Clayton.
another. Yeah, I got. We need to get Clayton back on.
Yeah.
But I will pose this: the Earth, if the Earth is a sphere, as we've been
Mm-hmm.
taught, and
Mm-hmm.
if it's traveling around the sun, as we've been taught, and it
Uh-oh.
rotates all the time, right? And the
Uh-oh.
sun, because of the Big Bang, is the universe is ever expanding, correct? So that means that the sun is moving outwards into this vastness and he's pulling along these planets, right? So how come every night I can go out and the North Star is always north?
You know what? Here we go. Hey, Eric. Yes, Eric, you can get on, man. All you got to do is let us know when you want to get on. Eric wants to know when can he get on. Man,
Yeah, yeah,
yes.
um, we'll hook up and see when a good time is for you. We can definitely get you on.
Uh oh, boy, I think that's all they show us. But they trying to show us from Mr. Wathrow. I'm not gonna get into this with you today because I'm telling you now, you don't want to know what I think on this, but this is a whole. It's like we have to stop this podcast and start another one just because this is an episode that we can't get in. Actually, Mr. Watho, hit Jerome up and see when we can actually do this another time.
Yeah,
I'm
no
ready
doubt.
for I'm ready to get this talk on. I ain't gonna even lie to you because it's like so much I want to say, but I mean I try to stay close to topic as much as possible. You just threw a curveball and you kind of got me excited. Let me know when it's a good day that we can sit down and talk with you. You don't even have to be on video. You can just be on the phone. I don't care. I'm ready to do this because I've been wanting to hear. I just want to hear your knowledge anyway, and that's this is can yeah. Because again, we're only giving our opinions.
No doubt. We can get
So
it on.
I
I
can't
got
say it
a
flat around
few
because
people in
hell,
mind.
I ain't been outside the planet to tell you so. But I'm gonna give you my final words because I see now we ain't gonna get off.
These
I was,
why the other
like I
planets
said,
round.
I just say why are all the other planets round? It might be round just
Centrifuge.
because of the way we look at it.
Centrifuge, the way they spin.
Ah, oh boy, like I said, man. See, starting another show, but I wanted to say I appreciate
Earth
everyone
actually
being there.
actually they don't teach that the earth is round. because the way it spins is kind of pushed a little bit. That's the way they
Yeah.
teach it.
Is oval to a certain extent. But again, I appreciate everybody, the comments put on. I appreciate anybody that's listening to us. Um, I want to say, always understand who you are. Do not cap yourself. Don't hold yourself to a certain degree. Always try to elevate yourself on a constant basis. So you say, if you accept that Bible, you will have accepted the flat Earth. Ooh. All right, let me keep back on. Let me get back focused. Let me focus. Let me focus. Let me focus, man. Let me focus. Let me focus. Love thyself, understand thyself, and just believe in yourself. Because, and if nobody else believes in you, as long as you believe in yourself, everything is possible. And that's my last word. Jerome, finish it off. Mr. Wathrow, man, you better quit. Go ahead,
Well,
Jerome.
it looks like we're gonna have a few people on the show next time, so which is good. Um, yeah, subscribe to us on YouTube if you can. Get the notifications so when we're on it, you'll know. Uh, I don't know. That's some interesting questions.
Oh,
I got some interesting answers.
I do
Uh,
too. I just can't do it right now. I can't do it today because it ain't part of the topic.
right, but I'm just saying we're spinning in outer space at 26,000 miles an hour
How we know
on a
that?
no, listen to me. We're at
Okay.
26,000 miles an hour. We're always in spanning hours. But when you go outside, the North Star is always north. Always.
And the sun always come up to the east and when it goes down on the west. But
Always.
we gonna leave it. We gonna. Oh my God, man! Hell, here we go. Because that confuses a lot of stuff. Because they'd be like, well, why did it take you so long to make this flight to so and so? So, all right, let's get off this. Boom. Get your last words out the way, Jerome. Because these dudes, we ain't gonna get off.
All I can say is continue to do your research, continue to study. Um, he said, "Where is north? There is no north. There is no up. There is no down. There is no right. There is no left. If you're on a circle, especially if you're just in space. So
But
there's
our
no point.
ancestors,
If you're in
but
space, there's no point of reference. So there is no up, down, left, north, south, west. That's just directions we use. That's how I get to Bojangles when I have to use my GPS. But 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 no, everybody, y'all have a great night, and obviously we got a big show coming.
it changes everything about what we might be going with. But interesting. Yeah, we might. Yeah, yeah. Let's. Yeah, Mr. Wathrow, I'm telling you, we need to get you on. I got some other people that want to get on, and we can talk about this and just boom. You let me know when you're ready to do this show, Mr. Wathrow, and I'm ready. If
He
you
said
say
there's a
tomorrow,
he said there's a top and a bottom. Is he talking? Oh wait a minute, I flash back to when I used to pimp.
so again, y'all, I appreciate it. We're gonna sign off. Again, this is the three-headed monster.
Peace.